point to try to plan where you're going to be. And you got to – I mean, you're in such a tight spot because if someone, isn't showing that they deserve to play and then they get upset, like there's really nothing that you can do if they want to transfer. It's just kind of where we are in college football right now. As far as the recruiting goes, you got the two guys right now. I think Tim Burns is a really talented guy, and he's very fundamentally sound right now, and he's very technical in his craft. But he just has limitations because of his size. I think he's listed at 5'10", which is inaccurate. He's 5'8", maybe 5'9", very short. You're talking about a guy he's not going to be able to play on the outside. I've seen some people say, oh, well, Corey Couch playing on the outside. Corey Couch is much longer. Tim Burns doesn't have that length. Like, he's going to strictly be a nickel guy. I don't see him on the outside. Malik Curtis is a guy who is a total project. So you're not going to be able to rely on him next year. And the issue with these projects is, there's no guarantee they're going to pan out, and there's no guarantee they're going to stick around in time to eventually pan out. So, it's not a great situation what you have committed right now in 2021. As far as the targets, Markevius Brown is a top guy. I think he's a talented guy, but I don't think he's a year one player necessarily. I think he would need more time. I could be wrong because we haven't seen a whole lot of him since his sophomore year. He didn't play much IMG last year. He was sitting behind those 2 5-stars they had and didn't get a whole lot of playing time. We'll see what he does this year at IMG. Maybe he's good enough to come in and compete for playing time at some point in his freshman year because he will be an early enrollee. Outside of that, there's a couple flip candidates. You have Jaden McBurrows at St. Thomas, who's committed to Michigan. He's a talented guy, local kid. Ricardo Hallman at University School. Well, he was at University School. He transferred to another school because University School isn't playing this year. He's committed to Wisconsin. He kind of fits the mold more of what we're looking for at cornerback at 6 foot, where McBurrows is only 5'10". Kevin Knowles is at MacArthur. He's committed to Florida State. That's a guy who I like. And I could see them making a push at him late because right now you just need numbers. And then there's some other guys, if you really get desperate, that you could go after. As far as the number situation, we are at 21 right now, and the hard limit sort of is 24, but just like you counted Jared Williams back this year, you could count guys back into the 2022 class if you just need numbers. And there's been talk of that, being wiped out this year, or because of COVID, or maybe even being, raised permanently. Like, there's been talk of that. So I don't think that you're as stuck at that 24 number as some people think. I think there's going to be flexibility.
So technically, if we're speaking, we have 2 spots left. Right now, so this is my last question for you. Give me your realistic opinion on who those last 2 players will be, and then who do you, I guess, like a fanboy, who would you want the last 2 players to be?
I don't want to fanboy too hard because I do want to, look at the roster management standpoint. I think Markevius Brown has become a must-get in this class, so I think he has to be one of the 2 of them. And I think the last one has to be a quarterback. I'm a huge believer in taking a quarterback every single class. I don't think that it's something that is even negotiable because what happens if Tyler Van Dyke beats out N'Kosi Perry next year? He's gone. Peyton Matoka might say, hey, maybe I have no route of playing here. He's gone. Who knows what the hell Tate Martell's going to do? You could have one quarterback. Like, I think you need a quarterback this year. I think it's a must get. And the name to know still is Jake Garcia. They are still recruiting him. Let's see where that one goes, because that's not gonna end anytime soon. No matter how many articles get put out there about, oh, Miami's still in it, oh, Miami's out of it now, oh, Miami's back in it. Like, they'll be in it till the end. Let's just see what happens.
Thank you. My God, finally someone with some sense.
I have to say, I just need to say this on the pod. If Mike Rumpf calls Steven Ortiz now at this point, I'm just gonna have to delete my Twitter account. I will go absolutely insane. I can't believe the situation that we're at with corner right now, man. It's frustrating because I thought before the season, like, only having 6 guys, I was like, okay, this just wasn't very good roster management, and now I don't know. We need to do something. I think you're right that Marcavius Brown is like a must get. And, we have to look attractive for a guy like him, and that we're offering competition for a starting role on day one. I mean, it's not like DJ Ivy or Takori Couch have really cemented themselves opposite Al Blades. So I agree with you there, man. And I guess thanks for coming on, man. We really appreciate having you. I love your 38-31 prediction against Louisville. I'm hoping you're right.
Yeah. And dude, Matt, whenever you want to come on again, bro, we'd love to have you. You're an awesome guest.
No doubt, man. Anytime.
All right,
Absolutely.
brother. Have fun in the good old 954 in Hollywood, man.
Will do, man. And see you when you get down here too, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Just a few more months. I'll see you there.
All right. See you later, guys.
All right. See you, bro.
Thanks, Matt.
Boom.
Love it.
Those
Dude,
CanesInsight guys, they know their stuff.
Oh yeah, they're good over there, dude.
Are you feeling more confident?
He did a great job. He's made me feel as good as I could. Matt, that was a great job. Like, yeah.
38-31. That's I've changed my score prediction. I'll give it later at the show, but I think that's a little high, but
Okay.
I like it.
Okay.
I like it a lot.
Can I just say though, like, I'll know just because of networking. I'll know if Rump reaches out to Stephen Ortiz, and you're gonna have to restrain me, Marsh, if that happens. I will freak out.
Bro, that was a great question though, because I didn't even think about like recruiting and everything when it came to Christian Williams, going into the portal. Like if Jake Garcia isn't a go, and I don't want to reach for a quarterback, who's to say let's not go get 2 cornerbacks to close out this class?
Oh, we absolutely need to. I mean, honestly, I think we should be closer to 7 or 8. I know that we only play 2 in our standard defense and whatever, and that striker is kind of a third DB. But, I mean, like Matthew said, those strikers don't have cornerback speed. I mean, we usually move them there from safety because they're bigger anyways, and it's usually our big safeties that go there. So, I don't know, man.
No.
I think we should have closer to 7 or 8 on the roster at all times, not 6, especially when half those dudes have never stepped foot on, in like a meaningful game to play football. Like, it's just not acceptable.
Yeah, we'll have to let's ask our next guest that question. I think that's a perfect talking point. So what do you say we get him on?
Yeah, I'll dial him in right now. Cam, what's up, man?
Yo, what's going on?
Boss man, how you doing, brother?
Yo, I'm hanging in there.
Good deal. So we now welcome on our good friend Cam Underwood from State of the U. What's been going on, man? I saw you a few weeks ago. Had a great night. We talked a lot of Entourage, not so much Canes, but I know Jordan was Jordan. You would have loved to be there.
Yeah,
it was a great. We talked all seasons in depth, and it was.
Oh man, that sounds like
we didn't go that far with it, but we did hit some of the high notes.
we
I
got
would love
some
that.
of the high notes, yeah.
Can we? I mean, can we just plan on that same type of thing when I finally make it down there? If COVID will go away, that I'd love to to just get some wings with you guys and talk Entourage and a little bit of Canes football. That'd be incredible.
No, man. I mean, I'm always down to bash a little Johnny Drama. I know that's Marsh's guy, but yeah, exactly that reaction right there. No.
You don't like Johnny Drama?
No, I don't really.
I didn't like him the first watch through. I didn't like him at all. But the second and third times I watched him, I thought he was one of the funniest characters.
I mean, he has his moments of hilarity. Don't get me wrong, but he's not one of my favorite characters, not at all.
I gotcha. If you had, sorry, I don't want to make this too entourage-y because I'm already fired up. With our last guest, I was just about ready to have a tantrum thinking about this cornerback situation that we have. But who are your top 3 characters, if you wouldn't mind giving them to us?
I mean, number 1 is the GOAT, Ari Gold.
Okay, of course.
I mean, if you have an Entourage conversation, you don't start with Ari, then there's something wrong with you. After Ari, I'm going to have to say Lloyd. I'm
Okay.
really I mean, because he was the foil to Ari through that, so like that raised up his star turn in my eyes. And like, they were going through all those assistants for so long, and then the actor was actually doing such a great job. I think he got extended in that role, and then they kind of grew into what it ended up being. So that would be number 2. And then number 3, can I just say the parade of young ladies that Vince shared time with, like all together as number 3 on the list? Am I able to do that? Because I'm breaking the rules and I'm doing.
Sure Absolutely. As hell. Hell yeah, brother.
Yeah.
That's perfect. That's perfect. Okay, one more entourage question. Jordan and I agree on this. At the end of the show, were you sad or a little mad that Ari didn't end up with
Dana Gordon?
Dana, yeah.
Like, I love Mrs. Ari, and like
she was kind of an asshole. Like,
yeah, she's kind of a dick.
I mean, like, she was a normal person. She was a normal person married to Ari Gold, and that's gonna come off differently because like you expect all of Ari Gold's life to be Ari Gold. Like marching through the office with the paintball gun and stuff. Going to the house party at the beach, talking about the assistant Josh Weinstein. Like the whole. you expect that to be every moment, and Mrs. Ari and the kids are not that. But no, I thought that they were. I thought they were directing us that it was going to be Ari and Dana Gordon, and like I thought that was a good match, and like Dana Gordon was a babe, and she was definitely a strong character as well. So yeah, I was a little taken aback that they didn't end up together. Not gonna lie.
That's a great point because I've long felt that Marsh was right, but I guess in my own personal life it's progressed in certain ways that like now that you say that. I do kind of like you're right. Mrs. Ari, I hated her when I was watching this show, but if you think about it, like being married to somebody like Ari Gold would probably be miserable. And it would probably turn you into a miserable person to be around.
I mean, and she did everything that she could to kind of make it work. Obviously, they had all the therapists, the iconic scene, like this is wife number 1 and therapist number 5, and I don't care about anybody, all kinds of things like that. But sorry, I derailed that conversation, but I hope you guys enjoyed that. So let's talk some Canes, man.
Let's do it, Kay. So this Saturday is a big game. I know that, with COVID, some certain teams are out of it, but it feels like a big game to me. I mean, game day is going to be there. It's going to be Herb Street and Fowler. Are you confident going into Saturday night, or are you a little optimistic?
I'm cautiously optimistic. But I'm approaching it still with, the kind of respect that I think that Louisville's due. I know that we had a record-setting day against them throwing the ball last year. Jaron Williams with 6 touchdown passes, which is a Miami Hurricanes record to this day because, like, we've only played a couple games since then and everything. And there are some things to like in terms of what Miami offers to go against what Louisville has. But there's also the thing, and like we've talked about this, I've even talked about it, the last time I was on with you guys. All of that being true, that there are things that are there to like about Miami. Miami's also failed to show up, even with these kind of opportunities. I think I saw the stat on the timeline, the Bear from ESPN. He said, Miami's 3-23 since 2005 on the road against ranked teams. That's objectively atrocious. That's absolutely terrible. So even with things that, I could say, hey, I like what we have versus what they offer on defense versus their offense or on offense versus their defense, we've still failed to show up in these opportunities and in these spots. So that's what's kind of balancing it out for me.
Yeah. Well, that's actually, I thought of this while you were talking, and then, that last point you made kind of drove it home. I would like if you guys could remind me, if I can't think of any, I had a tweet the other day where I said, I feel like in my lifetime as a Miami Hurricanes fan, which I really started paying attention to the program around 2005, 2006, probably 2006. It feels like in my lifetime as a Canes fan that we are like 3-47, which I just made up that number, in primetime games. And the only 3 wins that I can think of is Ja'Cory Harris on Labor Day night at FSU, and then the Virginia Tech and Notre Dame from 2017. I can't think of any in between that we won like primetime national stage night game. I mean, maybe you guys can help me think of more, but like you said, man, we just like crap our pants